usually a condition based upon an external thing. So I'm happy that I'm healthy. I'm happy that I have a new car. I'm happy I have a job. And I'm happy in my marriage or whatever. But it's all based upon something, even your health, even though it's internal, it's something that you're happy about. Joy is different, and joy is defined as really a state of contentment and acceptance, and ultimately a decision that you make based upon, what you have in your life. I can be, living in a shack somewhere and still have joy in my life because I have a family or friends or health or food or whatever that is. So it's really about a decision that we make every day. And so the title of the post is called Radical Joy. And the reason I called it Radical Joy was when I was about 20 or 30 or 40, I kind of thought by the time I hit 60, I would just be kind of like kicking my feet up and just coasting until the end. And I'm going to be 63 this year, and that is absolutely not how I feel. I feel like I've got more energy than ever. I've got more dreams. I'm actively achieving things that I never thought I could do and things like that. So thinking about joy and thinking about these kinds of things, it is kind of radical. It's kind of radical from what I would have thought back, even a decade ago. And so if you read the post, it's a little bit about that and why it's so essential as part of our own health, even, that it's not a luxury. It's not something like, it'd be nice to, it's really essential to our well-being and to our health, and the kind of a recognition that, we don't know how long any of us have. We don't know how long we have on this earth, and to make the most of it, more or less. So that was kind of the gist of the article, and so I don't know what you guys thought.
So first, I'm really happy to hear that you weren't speaking about one of our listeners.
Joy.
Radical joy. Sorry, I have my dad joke things right behind me here, by the way. But couldn't resist. But I think most importantly, especially with our aspect of the 50s and 60 demographic, and being faced with sometimes something that was thrust upon us, such as our new world order of, and I say that within our house, right?
Yeah.
Is that all of a sudden I identified myself with the company X for some period of time, and then boom, that gets ripped from me. And to the aspect of making the decision, and Bill, you had said in your opening there or prior to that gratitude is something that we can go through the whole list but still not have joy. And the decision of joy is very present. I don't know if that's the right word. You have to make a cognizant effort to be joyful. Is really the point. And it's funny when you mention that. I can't tell you how many times I have run into a cashier or a manager of a business or whatever, and I will say something, good day or whatever, and they come back with joy, and they make it very evident that no, I am. It doesn't matter about all this stuff, the burdens that I have. I understand that. And you can see that oftentimes. That's why you're having the discussion. And they're just joyful. And the reason that, and that is very, very much a conscious decision. And we, as we enter this new phase, and where you're talking about being excited, I think really comes from the decision to be internally joyful. Bert?
Yeah. I agree. I thought the article was very good. I'm joyful that I got up this morning as I had a long week and had It caught me a little bit, so apologies if I'm not sounding normal. But I like your sentiment, Bill, and I feel the same way. Being 58, and my dad retired when he was 57, so that was 25 years ago, 30 years ago, and so I had this image of being 57 that I've now passed, and I'm very joyful. Yeah, thank you. Some people have tried to retire me, but I keep coming back, as you know, Brian. I won't go away. But I do have a different sense of joy in terms of getting a much longer path in front of me and a joyful outlook to get up every day and go to work and come do this with you guys. It's different than it was when he retired.
Definition of joy is, it's also when that cashier that you're talking about is really nasty to you or dismissive or whatever. It's in that moment when you're like, okay, I can let this ruin my day and overshadow everything because of an outside influence, or I can just convince myself that he or she has got something or hasn't gotten to that point of being able to be joyful and likes to be rude in order, whatever that is, and then you just let it go. And that's what I'm still working on. So I think it's the person that cuts you off in traffic, the rude cashier, the whatever. Those are the things that are continually challenges for me to not fly off the handle and react.
So I'm sorry. I have an answer to, or two answers to the traffic thing, because I have failed at that many, many times. The other, where I live, is there is a hospital on the way to where I live, and my wife says, well, anybody that does that, you don't know. They are on their way to the hospital because something serious has happened. So let it go. Just imagine they have somebody dying, somebody bleeding, whatever, and that's what happened. So that's a good alternative. And then we were mentioning this we were at a party and we were talking about this, and one woman said, I just think everybody has diarrhea. And they're in and I thought that was hilarious. So like, yeah, okay, all right. Yeah. I want to help them get where they need to go too.
Yeah.
They're in a hurry to get
now I've got that in my head for the rest of the day. But
I'd prefer the hospital bleeding thing. Brian.
Yeah, I like me too, or the babies being born or something. But thanks, Brian. It's totally teasing. So So anyway, I'm gonna try to make.
We just experience joy.
There you go.
That.
The fact that somebody's pissing you off in the given minute doesn't mean it has to ruin your day, and there's lots of other things you can focus on. And I think that that's the point that I am still trying to teach myself, and maybe when I'm 90 still trying to teach myself. But yeah, I think
but also when we go from work, right, or we're doing our comeback, is can wake up and have that frustrations, bitterness, etc., or choose joy. Right. And sometimes I think you actually have to, Bill, when you're sitting alone, do you actually sit there and it seems to help if you even say it out loud? I choose joy today.
Yeah. I haven't used joy, but I use words like I choose how I feel about this. And so it's kind of the same thing, but I do think sometimes actually being by myself, I get those thoughts more than when I'm in the middle of doing 5 different things at the same time. So but again, and I'm not writing any of this to be preachy, because I think it's very much a human challenge probably across the world, and so but I do think can it put us in a better state of mind and ultimately accept the fact that so much of this life and world is out of our control? And if we can control one little thing, it's about how we feel and how we decide to show up every single day. So anyway,
I have failed and continue to fail many times.
me too. Me too.
And that is it goes back to our resolutions, Burke, which we, that's part of it is in letting go. And Tara has those same discussions with you that Kendra has with me, especially about the car. Now, actually, because we have the self-driving car, I actually sit in the back seat. So I'm like, they're my Uber drivers. My son is in the front seat, and Kendra's in the driver's seat with the car driving, and I'm in the back, which is so I don't say things, because when I say things, it can lead to stealing of joy from everybody.
Right.
And then that's a bad thing. But
so you're the opposite of Miss Daisy now.
Yeah.
Yes.